Hello friends! Today we will take a trip to the heart center. Our path can be very long because Anahata means endless. In the infinity, we see what the element of air does. This force of nature does not recognize boundaries and is free to do almost anything, because air is the main instrument of the Creator. In the air, an idea is born, and the conditions for its implementation are created. Air puts together the shape and then breathes life into it. Air brings the spiritual fire to earth and ensures that it never goes out. Together, let's return to the beginning of creation and see the foundation on which the stars, planets, and organic beings living on Earth were formed. Outer space is mostly made up of hydrogen, a transformed form of air. First, the stars appeared in it. The ancient thinkers took them for divine entities that have body and soul. The bodies of stars are compressed clouds with thermonuclear reactions happening inside them, leading to the conversion of hydrogen into helium. Over time, the stars became factories producing chemical elements in the universe. Carbon was formed from helium. When the carbon atoms connected with helium once again, oxygen was created. Then nitrogen followed. These four elements, hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen, made the creation of cells and organs possible and took on the leading role in regulating life processes. All that variety of things that we see around us, wind, clouds, water, soil, and rocks, all of it is air in different states. And even humans are a compressed and transformed form of air. After the objects cease their activity, they are turned back into the invisible element. Only air can tell you about everything and show you the way to the infinite yonder. But how do you get into its realm? The runic forces will help you with this, of course. Take a look at the runic triangle corresponding to the Anahata Chakra. Its tip is pointed downwards and is represented by the Gebo rune. This rune teaches you how to work with time and tells you how much of yourself you need to sacrifice in order to free yourself from dependency on matter and become able to see heaven. The second rune, Algis, attracts energy from the domain of gods and fills the body with the power of the stars. The third rune, Atal, provides a solid foundation and tells you what needs to be done for you to feel free. Let's examine each rune separately. The Gebo rune. Look at its shape. It resembles two cross spears, doesn't it? They are the guardians of the gates of the heart that protect the entrance to the heavenly temple and demand an offering of a gift. Otherwise, the doors will not open. Those who sacrifice nothing will get nothing. But what can a mere human who wants to get into the celestial realm offer so that the gods not only accept it, but also give something in return? Perhaps giving up something to which the person is strongly attached or leaving material dependencies behind. Maybe you should sacrifice your own ego. The latter, perhaps, is the most valuable sacrifice, showing a person's readiness to look at the world from a completely different perspective and accept the different rules of the game written by the gods and granting a freedom of choice. The Gebo rune teaches communication not only in the higher plane, it also establishes a harmonious balance in relationships between people, helps to find the right partner, and teaches how to handle energies and time. That's right, with Gebo, you can actually rewrite the temporal reality itself using the power of the four elements. Air will give you the new idea, fire will inspire you to bring it to life, water will give free rein to your fantasies so that you can visualize the dream in your imagination. Earth will put the idea on its feet and take care of the practical implementation of the task at hand. When the four elements begin their circular rotation, Gebo writes the plan to fit the needs of the individual and after some time produces a new reality. And this happens an unlimited number of times. The Algis rune. Algis is the cosmic tree. The rune combines the forces of the plant and animal kingdoms, but it is also the rune of a person who directs power from the world of the gods. According to the Nordic tradition, a human and the tree share a common nature and develop according to the same pattern. Look at the runes that make up the second ad and see for yourself. Yara represents the soil and provides nourishment. Paired, when rotated 180 degrees, resembles roots from which nutrients are delivered to the body. Avas is a tree trunk and the spine in the human body. In other words, the central axis along which the energies flow. Algis represents the branches and leaves of a tree that determine its appearance. They are in direct contact with the environment and react to the slight changes in it. If we imagine a person in the shape of algae, we will see arms reaching for the sky, resembling a bowl into which heavenly nectar is collected. The next rune, Soul, is the fruits that have ripened on the tree. They are the culmination of creation and the result of long and painstaking labor. Well, it's time to share what we've created with everyone else. Tevas, or Tur, by its very appearance, signifies the top of the tree, which always strives upwards and looks only to the sky. While we are at the lower stages of our development, we constantly feel limited by something, and only in the algae state do we feel a strong influx of power coming from heaven, and we begin to understand what it's like to be a free person and choose what we want and not what others want from us. The Otel rune. Otel means heritage. The rune is associated with the origin of the humankind, so naturally its protection comes from the earth. With the help of this rune, you can find your roots, feel the power of family, and find reliable support, because nothing and no one will support you more than your own kind. Otel accumulates the power of the four elements within itself, but unlike Gebo, which also closely interacts with them, it enforces strict rules. The task of each element must be fulfilled perfectly, and reality has only one way. Do you want to know what it is? Then let's look at the runes of the third ad. At the base of it is the rune Manas. It is the rune of a human manifested on earth. But do not jump to conclusions yet. It only looks like that on the outside. The inner state is more like a caterpillar, barely hatched from the egg of the universe. Eating is the only thing it does. Yes, it needs to feed itself and stock up on energy for the upcoming transformation into a completely different creature. But the caterpillar already has a brain, even if it is a very primitive one. A little higher, we see Lago, the rune of dreams and fantasies. It envelops a living creature with a silk web and plunges it into a long slumber. During this time, a lot of interesting things can happen. While the most incredible fantasies come true in a dream, the external form adjusts to the internal images and begins to change, though it is not clear yet what will come of this. The third rune from the bottom is Ing. It represents the inner essence. This is where the most interesting part happens. Under the influence of the spiritual fire, a deep transformation of the structure of the body takes place, so that in the end the specimen turns out the way it was originally imagined. Now we know for sure what the new creation will be like. The fourth step is the Otel rune, a cocoon or a house that it's time to leave and start an independent life. Otel laid the foundation, created favorable conditions, and prepared you for the big flight. All that's left to do is to muster up the courage and break through the cocoon head first in order to get out of the usual closed space, then spread your wings and take off. Next comes Dagas, shaped like a butterfly. It It soars above a flower meadow, enjoying the beauty and freedom. Are you ready to leave the gray walls, step out of the illusory comfort zone, and look at the world from heavenly heights, spreading your wings of freedom? Then the fair rune appears, a successful completion of the deed, fair who grants a reward for accomplishments and transfers consciousness onto a new cycle of development. After all three runic states are engaged, Gebo, Algas, and Othal, the Anahata Chakra swings the doors open and reveals its vast open spaces. Take a step into yourself and fly. The sky is not outside the body, but within it. The more you dive into the inner reality, the bigger your heart becomes, and the more you will feel that you are becoming truly free. Now you are ready to accept love, the priceless gift of heaven, which cannot be confused with any other feelings. True love offers complete freedom and never holds you back. It makes no demands or conditions. It shows what a true partnership should be like, where both people give and receive equally. Love is the sun. With its warm rays it wakes you up from sleep, disperses the fog of illusions, and shows the true reality. You too need to wake up and see yourself as a human, nature's greatest miracle. Let's look at the runes plane by plane. The physical plane. Learn to have the right kind of relationships that are built on a balanced exchange of energies. When you give something, be sure to take something in return to keep the universe in balance. Remember what the Gebo rune teaches. Every gift requires a gift in return. Awaken the strength within you that will give you the determination to decide for yourself. Never make yourself dependent on someone else's opinion. This will become your best protection, free you from the negative influences, and ensure that you stay on the path that you choose. Get in touch with the power of the ancestors. That is what gives us a sense of security and stability. This power is given by Othal, which is the foundation which you can always lean on to start improving yourself and moving along your journey into the uncharted lands. Respect traditions, but don't hide behind them. Become free. The mental plane. In order for the union of the human and divine natures to take place, it is necessary to get rid of the limiting shackles by sacrificing one's one ego, and only after that you will receive the gifts of heaven in the form of knowledge, strength, and wisdom. Humans have always tried to get in touch with the higher powers in order to receive support and protection from them. The Algas rune will help you with this. It is also called the rune of a human who was created partially by the forces of the moon and stars and turns to the heavenly parents to once again remember its heavenly origin. Don't be afraid to get out of the so-called comfort zone. Perhaps you are used to it, and it seems to you that in case of danger, it will be able to protect you. This is not true. Protection is in movement, looking for new places and opportunities. Only constant movement and readiness for change will make you invincible. The spiritual plane. Let's focus more deeply on the runes. The Gebo rune. Draw the Gebo rune in the air and say its name. After that, embody the shape of the rune. Legs slightly apart, the arms reaching upwards. Feel the flow of power coming from heaven and the second flow coming from the earth. At the central point, which is located at the base of your chest, they come together. And at this moment, there is an exchange of gifts. Heaven transmits knowledge and power to the human, and the human transmits the experience of interacting with time throughout the earth cycle. Now tune into the currents flowing in from your right and your left, and then the ones flowing in from the front and from the back. Gebo unites all 6 directions and keeps them in a perfect balance. Energies move, interact, direct, and compensate for each other. Allow the life force to circulate in its earthly form and give meaning to life so that you can eventually unite with your higher self. The Alga's Rune. To tune into the rune, stand up straight, hands up, just like the runic symbol itself. Feel the inner strength and protection that envelops you in the form of an aura. The name of the rune includes the word Al, which means sacred place in which you are now, and which gives you strength in striving to reach the divine state. The Odal rune. Picture the shape of the rune and say its name. Odal is the rune of accomplishment. Everything that has been achieved by hard work is carefully preserved and passed on so that humans can exist and continue to develop. Yes, Odal set the rules that must be followed until a certain time. But the rune does not limit freedom and strongly recommends strengthening the will and going your own way. Now you just need to take the final action and integrate the rune triangle into the heart chakra. One more time, imagine each rune separately, and then imagine the triangle and look deep into it. Do you feel warmth and strength? If so, then bring your sensations to the center of your chest, and then allow the light to spread in all directions. You might want to place an amazing painting or landscape in this area, something like a green meadow with lots of flowers. Imagine yourself as a child running through this clearing without any worries or formalities. This concludes our journey through the Anahata chakra, but you can continue it by yourself. It is up to you how many more unexplored routes and turns to experience. Explore them, learning about your own nature. Let the runes Gebo, Algis, and Odal guide you. They will teach you how to harmoniously interact with energies, provide you with a reliable foundation, give you determination in making independent decisions, get you rid of those limiting shackles, and allow you to experience complete freedom without losing the foundation. Rearrange your mind palace in such a way that you become open to accepting higher vibrations. Before you decide to take the next step moving up to the next level, review the material from the previous lessons. One more time, go over the 4 lower chakras, tune into the elements, concentrate on their qualities, learn to control them. Earth, water, fire, and air. This is a cell of material and spiritual imprisonment which you will leave very soon in order to cross the mystical bridge and find yourself in a few dimension when there is no place for deceit, misunderstandings, or formalities. In the next lesson, you will already make a big breakthrough and stop following the laws of the earthly matrix. We will set our own rules for this game. I'm looking forward to the next time we meet.